What China said.
She said it, not I.
I agree.
I'm starting now.
All right.
Ira, what happened?
We're trying to behave. We're trying to behave.
Yes.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the KONTAINEROZ podcast. Hey.
Hey.
The podcast is sponsored by Porta Potty, the leading operating system for drayage carriers. Schedule a demo today at portpro.io. And don't forget to mention KONTAINEROZ for 10% off. In the studio today, we got... Pass that mic around, ladies.
Rosie the Queen.
Sarai.
La China Containera.
La China had a mic right in front of her.
They pass me fucking
He's tripping already.
Okay. Leave me alone.
And you are...
Amanda. Beauty in the Truck.
Yoo-hoo.
Sandy La Chula.
Woohoo.
No married men.
We don't do married men here.
My name is Trisha, aka Morena, the boss Avalos.
That's right. That's right.
That's right, homie.
So basically, based on the last 2.5 hours setting up,
3.
this might
3
not go as
hours.
planned as far as like keeping it in order, like of questions and whatnot. So, open discussion. Let's go. What do you ladies want to start with? What's a good topic you think we can start with?
Bathrooms at the port.
No.
Oh,
Oh, everybody want to talk?
whoever's talking, talk it to the mic. No, we can't cut. No, we cannot cut. It's 12:30. We were supposed to start.
Let's
at
go,
10.
ladies.
We cannot cut.
Okay.
Con las preguntas.
Go ahead. Start
Dale
shooting.
gas, dale gas.
How is it working in a male-dominated job? This is a question submitted by an Instagram follower at Nikki's Barbecue.
It's a lot of fun because, you know, us as females, we taking over.
That's
This
right.
Yeah, we
man
got
industry.
I mean, I think most of the times when you get looked at, look, the thing is, a guy could look at you and he could think, damn, that girl's a badass. Or they could think, she's trying to take my job.
That's right.
Yeah.
But most likely they like.
And most
oh.
likely, yeah, she's right. Most of the time, it's she's trying to take my job. I don't feel like any men should feel afraid that there's women. I think they should feel proud. But there's times where, unfortunately, you get looked at like you're
A competition.
Yeah, you're a competition to them.
Like this isn't our spot.
But unfortunately for them, this is our spot.
Ooh.
Ooh, that hurts.
Amanda has something to say. A ver.
Amanda, let's see.
I mean,
Into the
Or-
mic.
or they think we should just be at home, and it's like, well, why? Why should I be at home? So
It's not. This isn't. You stay in the kitchen type of shit.
You stay in the chassis pit.
In the chassis.
Just in
No,
the
I've
chassis.
gotten that too before. Why a truck driver? You're too pretty to be behind a truck. And I'm like, why?
yeah, all the time.
Why?
All the time.
Why am I too pretty to be behind
I'm
a
getting
truck?
that money.
Hey, we want that money.
What difficulties do you deal with?
Dealing with the
Sometimes-
guys.
Yeah, I think like being a parent and being like a worker, because as a truck driver, you never have a steady schedule. Like there could be times where we're stuck at the ports for hours, and then sometimes you got to pick up your kid. Sometimes you got to do other things, like you got to go home and do, basic human things like clean, cook, wash, all that stuff for the other little humans you support. You get me? So we're also trying to get that money, but we're also trying to be good parents and good human beings, and try to balance it out.
Balance is a word that is so hard to keep in this industry. Extremely hard.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, it is. It's
That's
hard. Vacation time is hard. Time with kids.
Yeah.
But that's why I refuse to work on weekends, unless I absolutely have to. You have to make time for yourself. If you don't, then you let yourself go. And like, you're the most important thing when it comes to work. So
Yeah,
Right.
I agree.
How do you feel? Wait, this is a question from Thomas from Ricky's Transport. How do you feel? Wait, do you feel that the ILWU workers treat you different than they treat the men?
Yes.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you gotta say? What do you got?
Well, I think it's like a 50-50. Sometimes when I would go to the port, I would get treated just the same. Like, just either they were having a bad day or whatever, and they would take it out on me.
Yep.
And there's been other times where they would actually help me out and, run a check on my spot to see if my spot was open, or actually tell me if I'm in the correct line. Dude at APL came and checked on me like 4 or 5 times when he didn't really need to.
Mm.
So,
Trae pegue.
no. So it's like, it's a toss-up. I've also been kicked out of the empty line like 3 times for because they were servicing the UTRs, and I was next. So it's like, it's the same. It's like a 50-50.
She was next to get banned.
Yeah, that too, yeah.
Any of you ladies been banned yet, or in a situation where you almost did?
I've been banned.
I've been kicked out of APM, like my second day driving.
Yeah.
My second day driving on my own. You know how you drive into the chassis pit?
Yeah.
Well, there's that side that says don't drive in here. Well, I didn't know, but I was trying to talk to the forklift driver about where the 45s were. And next thing I know, like 10 trucks pull in front of me, and they get out and they're screaming at me, and I'm crying, and they're like, get out. And I'm like, oh my God, like, you don't have to scream at me. Are you stupid? And it's like,
that was unnecessary.
like, second day here. Like, so then they wrote me a ticket. So I took it and crumbled it up and threw it on the floor. And I was like, I'm calling the supervisor when I leave, because this is unnecessary. You don't need to scream at us like that. Like, none of us.
Yeah.
And then some of the women ILWU are like there's a lady at YTI. Yes, I'm going to call her out. She is rude in the daytime. I don't know if it's to everyone, but whenever I would go, she would be just rude. Plain out, just rude for no reason.
I wish I can have it in front of me.
Ooh, Gina.
Rude.
Oh, you know who she's talking about? Yeah.
Yeah.
What's
That
been?
sucks.
What's been?
That sucks when you know.
What's been
Yeah.
your situation? Any you had similar?
Also, when I first started, I was one of the ports I really can't remember, but I was also going towards where the rail only, and I'm like, where do I go?
Look how she holds the mic,
you know?
Amanda. Look.
What's wrong with that?
And
You want me to hold it like that too?
so then yeah, they like, where are you going? And they like just start like, driving off fast. You're new, you're like, you don't know where you're going. Obviously, if you're doing some stupid stuff at the port, it's because you're new. It's not because you want to do it on purpose. So I just feel like people should have more patience, be kind.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
But yeah, I've had situations too myself. Or also the honk twice and go forward. Like, you have to get used to that stuff.
Yeah.
They're like beep beep, and I'm like, does that back? Does that like, that's nerve wracking. Like one left actually, like, because I couldn't get it, I guess. And he was like, oh, like, are you dumb? And I was like, I can't even see you. I can't even see where you're set up. It was terrifying, but I got over it.
Oh my God, after hearing all these stories, thank you to my old company that taught me around the ports. I did not deal with none of that when I started here.
Yeah, I think it all depends who you're trained with. Like, once you start the ports, or who trains you.
They
That's
trained me
right.
for a week at the old company where I started.
Yeah, there's a couple of companies that do train you, which is good because, like I said as well, it depends on who trains you.
Oh,
because
yeah.
there's people who have no patience, and they'll tell you just follow me and do what I do, and you're like, but what does that mean? And if you're one of those people who doesn't ask questions, you're gonna get lost in the transition of figuring what you're supposed to do out. Like, it's hard. It really is hard.
I mean, to me, it was self-explanatory, but I was trained very well before I started.
Any of you guys had previous experience to trucking?
No, nothing.
I didn't.
Zero.
Really?
I didn't.
I came from over the road into the port.
Me too.
I did
I
OTR
came
for
over
2
the
years.
road over to the port, and I had really hell of experience. Tray pack, I was crying like a baby. The first day I was there, I was like, just there sitting
You
there
had
and
to go to
crying.
trash pack.
Yeah, it was horrible. It was bad.
What happened?
I just didn't know what to do. I see all the fucking trucks all over. And what should I do? Where should I go? You know, it was crazy.
I worked retail for like 10 years. Well, I'm not going to mention the company. And then one day I just saw this girl at a truck stop on my way to Vegas. And she was like, must have been like 4 foot something. She's petite, dude. And driving like a 53 footer. And I was like, dude, this girl's doing it. Like, I want to do
Right?
that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just like made the jump and was like, one day I was like, you know what? I want to be a trucker. I didn't know I wanted to get into the port. I just knew I wanted to be a trucker.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's how I started. And of course, people laughed. And another reason why I also became a trucker and followed through with it was number one, my family. Number two, because they told me I couldn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
And she did it.
And I did it.
You go, girl. Woo!
We all can do it. If we really want to do it, we can do it.
Yeah, but you know, sometimes the people, you can't do it. There's no job. There's no work for women in there. They're not going to hire you.
That's right.
All this, and it starts messing with you. And then after a while, it's like, you do it. And you find yourself at a port picking up a load.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Bitching about it, fighting with those motherfuckers.
I was here on time.
Sure, you had a story, right, about the similar to theirs at YTI, you said? You were going to share or no? ¿Ya se te olvidó?
Ya se me olvidó.
Oh, okay.
No, I know the same lady. I know I've been talking to her and she's really rude. But I'm like, fuck you, bitch. Then I
Or at TTI. At TTI, I went in with the chassis. It looked like an evergreen chassis. They sold it to the guy I was working for, and they're screaming at me in the speaker about it being stolen. And I'm like, are you fucking serious? Why the fuck am I gonna steal this shit? You stole it. You stole it. It's like, so then I go over to that.
what if I did steal it? What are you gonna do?
Exactly, right? Like, no fucking way. I'm picking up my load. Let me have my load. What do you care? I'm getting the fucking load. I'm gonna get the load and leave.
I would have been like, get the fuck out of that speaker and come over here and say
That's
that
what
shit.
I don't understand. That's the shit that I don't understand, Louis, is why do you give a fuck what chassis it comes in as long as it passed roadability?
Yep.
Let me get the fucking load and leave.
Yeah.
That's all I want to do.
well, I mean,
Well, I'm sorry, but that shit gets on my damn nerves. When you're looking for an empty and it's in a fucking WCCP only chassis, like why can't I take it into fucking APM?
Yes.
Only LBCT is the only one willing to work with you, and I don't get that shit. Like why?
Do you know why?
That's just complicated as fuck to me, too.
Zero entiendo.
I have a list of shit that I want changed down there. And if you guys don't fucking change it, I'm going to talk
Right.
to
Let's go, Amanda.
I'm going to write a letter.
Amanda, president for 2024.
The ports. President of the ports.
Vote for Amanda.
She said, I want APL, I want Evergreen, I want TTI. She's like, I'll take APM, I'll take APL, and we got fucking K-Line and fucking...
La Rosie nomás se le queda viendo a Saraí, like, préstame el micrófono, güey. She's like,
We already have a system. I'll just tap her like.
Yeah, we understand each other. She just got to give me that look.
Well, I'm gonna share my story. I start delivering some.
easy on the table.
And ya me chingaste. No. Okay.
Pégale, pues, para.
No,
Let
no,
the
no,
story
no,
out.
no.
Dale.
Le quitaste la emoción.
Pues I start delivering like car parts, like mufflers and all that. And then I see over the road the ladies, and I say, I want to do that. Then I went to the school, and I got support from my family too, my kids,
That's great.
And then I say, well, let me go to over the road. I got a call from a person. He trusts me. I was new, with my license, and I start over the road for like a year and a half, and then I came to the ports. I started at K&R. I don't know if you guys have see K&R company. They have some chuchos over there. So they train me. So if you see me on the road, I'm not gonna be flying. I'm always, I don't know why, but that's the way.
She knows what's up already.
Personally experienced that, like at WBCT. I hadn't seen her, but I seen her truck and it flew past me. and I just saw the back and it said La China. I was like, oh yeah.
But see,
Y luego esa vez que me pasaste y me dijiste, quítate la chingada.
Get the fuck out of the way.
I think they misspelled your name. They forgot to add the G. Yesi anda en chinga, no la china.
So I think that's the way I start training. I training like really like in a chucho style, like I was fast. And then I got my trucks, and that's it. That was my.
How do you feel being an owner operator?
At the time, it was hard because nobody want to give me the chance, At K&R, I feel like they have a list where you go and sign and you want to become a owner operator, but they didn't give me the chance. So I went to overseas freight where they gave me a chance, and I started. People, my coworkers from K&R, I got 2 drivers. They told me, "You can do it, China. The way you work, you can do it." Yeah. Because I was hustling. I was like, day and night. And that's the way I said, well, they say I can do it. Let me try.
Blood, sweat, and tears.
And here I am. Nice. Well, I started in
It's an example of trucking. When one door closes, so many other open.
That's right. That's right. And here I am. I'm an owner of my truck.
How long have you been?
Since 2012. I started being the owner.
I graduated in 2012 from high school. Just a fun fact. Fun fact.
So,
if any of you ladies needs the mic from anyone, feel free to just borrow it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Are you telling
I'm sure
me?
you could all get along.
Because
sí, ayúdenme.
Carnala.
Take it away from me.
Like this one, please.
I need to practice what I preach.
Se mordió la lengua.
¿A qué sabe?
How easy is it to get a chassis for you ladies? Do the guys give it up or no? They're
Yes,
like, ni madres.
there is sometimes guys give you the chassis.
I mean, if there's like 30 trucks, you have to wait.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just
I don't wait in line. I go and I fucking
Go look for it.
Voy y pregunto y digo, vas a voy. You have to go to the empty line where all those guys are. One of them is gonna drop the chassis. You just have to ask. You just have to ask. You're gonna drop yours? No. And that's the way.
Someone's gonna say yes.
Yes, someone.
You know what? It just depends. It depends. Like for myself, dude, I hate looking for chassis. So I try to cover myself with the empty that I say I go to warehouse. I bring the empty from over there ready to go into the port for the next day.
Well, most likely that's the moves you have to do. But there is times.
Pero cuando
There is times ports take the chassis from you. Sometimes the port keep the chassis, and then you're like, what the fuck, You have to go y chucharle por un chassis.
So that's when working for a company is really important. So if you work for a company that has own chassis, you'll have more productivity and if you're paid by the load, to get your job done easier.
Are you okay with it with them saying that because it's a company chassis, you don't have to charge for the chassis split? You should be thankful you have a chassis. How do you feel about that? Because some people do that. On the owner operator sense.
Okay.
Do drivers get paid a chassis split as well? Company
No,
drivers?
I get paid for because I do overweight loads. So when I do overweight, they just pay me an extra fee for hauling more heavy stuff.
But company drivers, when they haul the
But we don't
chassis
split.
around.
No, they don't. The chassis, no. That's you. It's your job. It's your responsibility.
Oh, see, owner ops.
We get paid for the
See,
chassis
right?
for the move.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the previous company that
I
I
haven't
used to
done
work
a
for did that.
chassis split in a long time. I'm usually in a dual.
Oh, okay.
transaction.
Yeah. I haven't done a chassis split. I mean, it all depends on the rate you're getting to. I mean, if you're getting a really good rate, then
Yeah, you're really.
I
not
mean,
gonna trip
like
about
if you're going from like a YTI to TTI, you might be willing to let it go. But so yeah.
Next question.
Anything else you want to cover about chassis? Any experience with that?
I mean, with the chassis,
Dropping it on the spot? Do they unhook it for you?
It's
Do
because
you?
honestly, we had a chassis shortage not too
Yeah.
long ago,
Yeah.
so there wasn't really a if you drop it, there was already somebody willing to take it ASAP. Because in multiple occasions it happened to me. Like you would have drivers driving around in the terminals and they'd be like looking at you like this, and then you'd be like, all right, well, if I'm gonna drop it, they'll literally wait for you to get your empty off so they catch the chassis.
So there's no favoritism at all, like because you're a
I mean,
female,
yeah,
like
there is
that.
sometimes.
They might let you. Oh,
Yes,
okay, that's what.
that
all
is
right.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Definitely.
yes.
Yeah, you know
Hold
what?
on. Hold on. How long did it take you to realize that, like, what the hell does that mean? What?
You're gonna drop it.
Or the DOT, when I first started DOT, I'd be like, and then just keep driving.
You have a highway patrol behind you, high speed chase.
Hey, the guys are
You're
like,
waving.
the guys are like, hey, fuck you. I just washed my truck yesterday. What the fuck you mean?
It's like, what's he doing? What's that?
Yeah.
There's like,
Sometimes you just gotta let that smile and be like, you're dropping it. I me lo tira.
And on some, on some real shit that's happened to me where they'll drop it and they'll even wait for me to hook into it, and then
they come.
oh yeah, oh yeah.
Damn, I'm gonna get canceled for this one. When I just pull up and I just park, I'm like, unhook that shit. What are you looking at me for?
I'm the special one here.
you wanted that bad? Hey, a trabajar. Someone asked, why do you ladies get a free pass at ITS going in Bobtail, while the rest of us get a sorry, no chassis, turn around?
I've never been to ITS Bobtail in all seriousness, so I wouldn't know.
I mean, I've been Bobtail when they accept
When
Bobtails.
they
I don't
accept
think that
Bobtail.
they make special accommodations for us.
for women. Like if there's no chassis, like
There's no chassis.
Or
What the fuck you can do? What you gonna do about it?
Or I think it's depende de la compañía. Like some companies have leverage in there, and you could go in.
Maybe they were getting a load on wheels. I mean, you don't know unless you really talk to them.
Yeah, I agree on that one.
Yes,
I mean,
facts.
every single time that I've been somewhere and they're like, "There's no chassis," it doesn't matter your gender.
Yeah, like APM be doing that.
But you man, given the opportunity to even go in and try. So when there's no chassis, that's what they normally do. They don't let you bobtail in. Pero él está diciendo de que pues como son damas, las dejan entrar and look around.
That's not true. Mm-mm.
Ryan, cross them out.
My thing,
Just block them.
Blocked. From container.
I think I was at ITS once, and there's like a long line of people waiting for chassis. What I don't understand is the guys, that your fellow truck drivers are waiting for it, but you go and give it to the forklift driver anyway. Like, that really irritates me. Like, I don't get it.
Sometimes they don't know that he's gonna stack that shit. But if you know they are,
There's 15 people waiting, and you don't know? Come on. Come on. Meet me in the other row. Like for real.
Catch me
What?
outside.
That doesn't even sound right. Come here.
that was
Meet
that
me
was
in the other
a,
row. B12, please.
it just sounded wrong because she was a girl. That's why.
That's exactly
Right?
what I mean.
That's
Can you
awful.
imagine talking to a man and be like, meet me
Hey,
in the other row?
I have a day cab.
You know how
so
fast
nothing's going on in a
that
day
would go
cab.
south?
Hey, you didn't see that
Yeah.
video of the
Well,
guy?
that doesn't mean
The video
anything, Amanda.
about on that day camp, the guy that was like, you know.
I know, you're gonna have to send that to me. I don't know
Yes,
if
there's a video where one of the workers is like to the guy.
What?
See?
¿Dónde?
And on day
a
camp.
lady worker.
No, pues
No,
se
that
ve-
was
you
fake.
can't see
My
the
shit
face.
got reported.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it was a helmet from
was a
work.
helmet.
It was a helmet, and he was just
Helmet.
kind of.
I figured that one out.
I remember that one.
No. Some guy was literally, he was sitting. I saw it. Yeah. But it wasn't. It wasn't.
Yeah, it was a helmet.
It was a helmet. It was just a helmet.
Who the fuck says, "All right, babe, let me put my helmet on"? You know?
So sexy with that helmet on. Put your bun over it.
You've been too aggressive, so I thought I'd put my helmet on. Anyway,
Moving along.
Moving along.
do you feel intimidated or
No.
look down on?
Cut that question. I'm not scared of you.
All right, Mr. FT.15. Yeah, no quisieron. On to the next
No,
one.
and that's it.
Do you have access to clean bathrooms?
No.
Oh no.
Sometimes.
Not all the time.
Depends.
Sometimes.
I don't know, man. Y'all need to learn how to aim or stop pissing on this floor, bro. Like, it's ridiculous.
bucket.
Oh.
The bucket. Hey, a Containeroz bucket on a day camp.
Put
Put up cardboard.
Do not cover the windows. Full angle and views for everybody.
Okay, so when I first started
Hey, what
driving,
percentage tint would that be? Never mind.
when I first started
Promoting.
driving, I was at 8 p.m. and I didn't know that after lunch the line's like really, really long. So I'm sitting there, and all the trucks are lined up. You could see down all the windows either way,
Speaking
and
to the mic.
I gotta go to the bathroom. All I have is my lunchbox filled with food. So I had no choice but to pull my pants down, empty my lunchbox, and pee in my lunchbox. And everyone saw, and they started honking. And I was the next to go in line. So I was like, I'm pretty sure they're looking in the cameras. Like, but it was the most embarrassing thing. But then I was like, screw it. I mean,
You gotta go.
I would
just
have.
gotta go,
That's right.
You know what I would have done? I would have been between those containers just like everybody does and squatted.
I
there.
did a K-line once. It was
In the
nighttime.
wait line?
Yeah. Where?
In the wait line?
Yeah, I've done it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In between?
Yeah,
Yeah.
You just use your truck to
Yeah,
block you.
yourself.
Where?
Like
They're
in
all still
between.
gonna look. They're gonna be like, what's she
I mean, they saw you anyways.
Might as well.
Might as well give them a show.
I think the guys doing it. They be acting like they're unlocking, and they're just standing there,
Hazme el micrófono si está hablando.
standing there peeing, and it's like, come on,
Thank you.
dude, can you at least hold your junk? I mean, you're just like
Broken
I'm like-
hose. Broken hose. Do
Like, damn.
you have an
like-
air leak? A water leak?
Or there's some of them that just get out and they're just like, and it's like, hey, I'm standing here.
Yeah.
I don't want to see.
See, and
Their
that's
shit.
where this comes from. This is where this comes from. They don't think that there's any women around.
Yep.
This is where that comes in. So your best bet is just to look away because they're not afraid of to
Oh,
show
I don't
anything.
care.
What?
I mean, you got.
They should be afraid of sharing that shit. No, pa' que putas.
Pero para que
Ay, güey. Yo pásame otro vela.
She's like,
but so they feel special. They're like,
Hasta así.
y la cosita así.
Emily's so sad.
What's going on over here?
Let's go.
And he is speechless.
That's why I never do it outside.
gonna smell nasty.
It was cold that night.
It's very cold. Middle
I'm gonna answer
June.
this, and we're gonna move on.
Wait, one more. Excuse me, port people. If you are watching this, if you guys could put a porter potty in
Just
every
one?
aisle
Oh.
at the port, dude, I would thank you. Because
Never gonna do that.
I waited in line for 12 hours and I could not get out of line.
Yeah.
Hold on. We want women only porta potties and
Yeah.
the big ones. So in case we, you
Yeah.
know, we need space.
Yep.
We don't want to get our hair caught up in shit. Okay? And put one with a sink. One with a sink.
No. Equality. We want the clean restrooms too, homie.
No,
Nah,
you don't.
hell no, y'all don't.
No, you guys are
Dirty. You guys are
men's are
Men are dirty.
nasty.
Do you know how
Y'all
many?
don't know how to aim.
Yeah.
Do you know how many Clorox wipes I've gone through cleaning this toilet before I sit on it, and I still squat, bro, and I still fucking
Never sit on them ever.
Ever.
You gotta tippy toe, squat, and pull your pants way forward.
Yeah, I literally just pissed on my pants yesterday. like on the bottom of me, because you don't want to sit down, no matter how clean it smells in
No.
there.
Yeah.
Don't. I
I mean, that was
do
Tina,
not
but-
do it.
Cut that out, please.
I can't.
It just sucks, bro. It really does suck.
The struggles. The struggles of a port driver.
That's why I carry my bucket with me
Porque la
everywhere.
odias, güey.
No, espérame. China.
Ya. Se va a reventar el micrófono, güey.
Dale, Rosie. I know you've been wanting to speak. Dale.
No, I was gonna say that I've been driving for 6 months and I have yet to use a porta potty because my company is like 5 miles at the most from the ports, so I always make it back, you know. And I hold it. Sometimes I'm like hold it, but I'm like no, like there has to be some
bad.
clean
It's
restrooms.
bad.
I've yet, but
Yeah.
I've heard stories. They're
Most
like there's
terminals have
volcanoes
a
in there.
bathroom though. Most terminals.
Disgusting.
And
Like
then-
regular restrooms.
And if you're a female, if you ask like WBCT, there's the bathroom there that they'll let you use.
Where?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll tell you after. We don't want to give our secrets up.
Sorry,
We
guys.
don't want the guys up in.
Yeah. Oh, really? No, you don't. You're gonna
If
tell
the
me.
guys,
Yeah.
if the guys
I
go,
think-
they'll just cut us off. So.
Kaylan is one of the best bathrooms.
K-line?
Kaylan.
Oh, ITS.
No, I know ITS.
Trouble window?
Trouble window. Oh yeah.
Trouble window.
I've been
and then
there.
right
Yeah.
next to it.
I have
You
to
think that's the
disagree.
best one?
Yeah.
I have to disagree.
TTI
TTI with the
is
mirrors.
really nice.
With
Oh,
the
yeah.
mirror. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. I
TTI.
No, APLs is the best, I think.
Oh, it's a single restroom.
No.
never been
APL?
Yeah.
Right there at the trouble window.
Yeah,
Go
it's a
down.
restroom.
No, it's not. It's like it's got like 5 stalls in there.
What restroom have I been going to?
I don't know. Where you going?
No, there's one in front of the guys' restroom.
The
And
High
it's a
Line is
single
not a
Where?
restroom.
Are you talking about no, not that one. When we talk about it. We'll talk about it off there.
Oh,
Off
okay.
cameras, please.
Off cameras. These are things that you guys cannot know. Yeah.
What?
He's like, what?
Next question. No.
Do you ladies need a break at all?
I need water.
Can these be next to each other? No. Can they? These two mics?
What?
Can they? I don't know, because you know how it makes like that.
I don't think so. Do you pee in a Gatorade bottle? That's what Mr. Nothing.
Yeah, I do. You know, with that little thing that I bought on Amazon that doesn't work. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm gonna buy
Me too. I keep saying that, but I think so.
Is it one size fits all?
Yeah, because we're going to have problems with that.
Oh, you said China.
You still gotta. The thing I don't understand about it is you
Mics.
You still gotta pull your pants down.
Yeah.
So I'm like, unless you're wearing a dress to work.
Somebody's going to see lots of butt cheeks.
Someone was saying don't have relationships with guy truckers from the same company. Why do you think that is?
My man works in the same company as me.
Yeah.
Le saben algo al puro tanteo.
Hey.
Don't mix business and pleasure.
Yeah, my man works at the same company as
I
me.
don't have that problem.
I dated a guy from the port.
Oh.
A ver, let's
Wait,
hear
a
that story.
longshoreman or
Otro trucker.
¿Y qué pasó?
Papacito, ahí me
chiquitito lo tenías.
Oh, no.
Okay, a ver.
Bueno, it didn't work out, but I love you.
Tóxica.
Hola.
I mean, I think it's like it depends. Like it is even between like your own company. Sometimes the drivers will like try to get at you if they see you like you're alone. I think.
Yeah.
But
No, mejor.
no,
I did that one and
stay away from that shit.
Once you screw that up, then the whole working
You can't
environment will be
even work
awkward.
there. Yeah, you can't even work there.
Who should leave, the guy or the girl?
I don't know. When I get mad at my man, I try to run him over with my truck. You're doing a pre-trip?
You were.
Let me
doing a
show
pre-
you how good this front tire looks.
But I did like it. I had like having a boyfriend there because then like sometimes entramos al mismo puerto and then he'd be like, "Do you need any water?" Yeah.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
that's what I do. Like, I'll be outside and I'll tell him like, "Are you hungry? Are you stuck somewhere?" And then I'll go drop him off food or something like that. But you know, recently, like, look, on some real shit, I had an altercation maybe this past week with a guy from our company because we just started working for that company. Shout out to Teto Diesel. That fool got me that job. There was a guy, so there's overweight trucks in the middle, right? They park them. Usually these trucks are parked where cars go. So it's pretty tight, right? So, but these overweight trucks are a little bit longer, so they put them in the middle. One of the drivers from there, so there was 3 trucks. The guy from the front pulled up. There was this guy in the middle, and then one of my friends, his truck was there. The thing is, you park your car where you pull your truck out from, right? Correct. My friend parks outside, so it didn't matter that his spot was going to be empty. So I pulled up because I was going to grab my stuff and put it in my truck because at that time I wasn't going to drive because my truck was out. So I see my friend pull off and I went to his spot just so I could put my things into the truck that I was going to drive, pull out the truck and park my car there, right? Just give me 5 minutes. This guy, the guy that pulled off from the second parking space, is coming around, gets off the truck, and starts yelling at me. Like, when I say yelling, like, he was throwing hands up, like, literally having a fit. I could have sworn it was a 5-year-old in that body, I swear to God. And I thought my husband had already left. And I was like, all right, cool. So I pulled forward. Regardless of that, I thought he was screaming that was his spot. When I already seen he pulled up from the spot in the front. So I said, that's cool. I moved my car forward. If you want that spot, you can have it. It's a parking spot. I'm not going to fight you over it. This dude sees me pull forward, and it's like I fucking set him on fire, bro. I set him on fire. Like, this dude went off, like, worse. I did not see my husband. I heard my husband. He got off his truck, and he told him, "You better respect her."
Ooh.
He said, "You better fucking respect her." And I said, and I literally, I didn't say nothing. I just, and he said, and
You're like,
literally,
you're like,
yeah. And I was like, you know,
He got my back.
yeah.
Baby, I got you
Yeah.
tonight, baby.
Yeah. You know what's gonna happen tonight? We making that baby.
Today's the day.
Today's the day. You ain't even gotta say nothing else. He legit said, and the guy walked away and said, like, I can do that. But regardless of me being a female, he should have been respectful, because even if that's your coworker, you want to build a safe environment, a good environment around your other people, your colleagues. You never want to be that person that nobody wants to see. Because when you need a favor and you're at the port or you're somewhere else put on the side of the road, you want your colleagues to stop and help you.
Right.
It's gonna get suspicious if you start arguing with that guy a lot. Your husband probably got a little deal going on with him. Hey, hazla enojada.
Hazla enojada porque me va bien.
That seriously, that was I think that was one of the worst things that like happened to me because of like, yeah. What am I saying?
¿En la mesa?
Mesa.
Mesa que más aplauda.
Mesa que más aplauda. La chilla.
The ladies got the AC blowing. Show them what you're working with. Okay.
Jackie de todas agarró aire.
Los bombones nos derretimos.
Yeah, but that was
chocolate se está derritiendo.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Does the Tóxico make you lonche?
Nope.
¿Saben cocinar?
Real quick. Nope.
You ladies pack your own lunch or you just eat out?
Oh, that's one thing. We don't have somewhere to warm up our food.
I take my own lunch. It's cold.
Yeah. yeah, that's the point.
Well, I have a micro in my.
Yeah, see, I can't. I don't.
Préstale esa a la China and you ladies share this one. If you don't mind.
I have a micro in my phone. On my phone.
You have a microwave on your phone? Nomás eso le falta al phone. She stay on that.
Well, fuck.
Anda valiendo.
I want one of those. Where do you buy it? Is that shit on Amazon?
On some serious note, I think hay una hielera or a
Sí, güey, no sirve. Ya
tried
compré una, güey.
The
No.
little
ovens?
The one that supposedly it heats up.
Doesn't work.
Doesn't work.
Dude, I was already thinking about it.
No, hombre.
A mí me
güey,
regalaron
lo
una.
que- Lo que es atún y sándwiches, rifa en el puerto, güey.
Y las tostadas.
Y las tostadas, no hay de otra, porque it just doesn't work. Like, there's nothing that you can warm up. It won't be.
Podemos encontrar un fridge que le quede al Kenworth.
Pregúntale a la gente on the comments, please.
Yeah, please. Comenten ahí a dónde puedo encontrar un refri para el Kenworth.
¿Sabes que cuando yo y mi bueno, el punto fue que teníamos teníamos un troque
Susodicho.
y compramos nomás un regular mini fridge and then you just turn it sideways. Y para que no se te abra le pones uno de esos stickies, the safety ones.
No quiere ser Mickey Mouse, chinada.
Puro Disneyland.
So for the other ladies out there that are thinking of becoming truckers, get their CDL, any tips for them?
Go for it. Go for it. I need to shout out somebody that has been thinking about it at my job. She's a dispatcher, Annette. You know, girl, get it. Your time is now, and I can't wait to see you on the road. Yes.
Do it. If you're thinking about it, do it.
Do you ladies mind sharing briefly why you got into trucking?
I'll do it. I'll go. I wanted a new car, and I somehow ended up doing this, and I would never change it.
He said no, you said yes.
Exactly.
Mine was I was a stay-at-home mom for 7 years, and one day I was just like, all right, I'm gonna get my CDL, and I was going through severe depression, and that's how I overcame it.
Mad proud.
Nice. You felt empowered.
Avalos.
Sorry, my OCD.
Yeah, she did say it.
Off the
I said it again.
Oh, did she?
No, it was on the record.
It was on the record.
No.
Go ahead, do it.
Oh, just do it. No, maybe
So I was working retail for like 10 years, and it took me 10 years.
Yeah.
¿La van a dejar de terminar o
Oh
no?
my God, you guys. So I was working.
So nervous. She's so
Attention span 1.
Pues look at her AC.
Oh my God. So yeah, I was working retail for 10 years, and yeah, I saw a girl driving a truck on the way to Vegas, and it was a 53-footer. She was like 4 feet. She was a petite girl driving a 53-footer, and I figured, well, if she could drive it, I could drive it. And another reason why I decided to drive it was, number one, my family. Number two, because they told me that I couldn't do it. So I did it.
Yes, that's right.
Thank you for sharing, and my apologies. My mind's been all over the place, but yeah. But
heard
maybe
it
someone
twice.
else missed it out there too. You know, people skimming through it. You know, not listening from the beginning to the end, and they just fast forward and they landed on you. So now they know. Who's
Now
Don't
next?
be fast forwarding. Nothing.
Who's next?
This
Who's
is
next?
gonna be a very exciting episode, so y'all stay tuned.
Probably have a second session on here.
We coming back, yeah.
We're coming back.
Yeah, we need to
We're coming
We need to
back.
come back.
Oh, stay tuned. We're coming back
Every
because
3 months.
Every 3
Somebody
months.
better come back with a belly.
Not me. I'm trying to get mine removed.
Yeah, not me. It ain't happening.
Y las que quieran ser camioneras,
Échale ganas.
échenle ganas que sí se puede.
Mis
Todo se
mami
puede.
solteras that think you can't do it, trucking. Trucking, you can do
Trucking
it.
is waiting for you. So,
Yeah, if you
van a
can't
hacer
pay your bills,
bichotas, van a hacer,
you
las
can't.
puras.
You want a better place to live?
That's
Trucking.
right.
For real.
And you know what? And not only for women, men. I've had men on my DMs. Like, you inspired me. Like
Right.
she said, you know, someone tiny, petite inspired her. There's men out there that are like, oh, you know, you're a woman. Like, if you could do it, I could do it too. You know, and I think that's
No, because you're
dope.
not a bad bitch like me.
We can do the same job. I just look better doing it.
I do it with style.
Yes.
Has everyone shared why they got into trucking?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I think I kind of tried to.
Oh, she tried to. Mira.
I tried
Who interrupted her?
I
Okay,
tried to
China.
explain.
China, go.
En español, si quieres. Whatever.
Decilo vos.
Okay, ya lo dije.
Otra vez.
Otra vez.
You said you tried. That means you weren't able to.
I thought she said because they told her no one would give her a chance.
Oh, yeah.
That was off record, no?
You have a mic right
No,
there.
that was right here.
mic.
Yeah. No, yes, you did.
So who's up?
Pues a mí me gusta, yo desde que vi un camión, yo vengo de familia trailera, so tíos, abuelo, fueron traileros, y yo cuando vine aquí empecé haciendo deliveries de partes de carros, y así con un camión de 20 pies, y ya luego me subí a uno de 24 pies haciendo deliveries de correo, y ya luego me decidí cuando vi a las mujeres traileras en la carretera, dije, eso quiero para mí. Y pues entré a la escuela, saqué mi licencia y empecé over the road para Portland, para Texas. Y ya de ahí caí a los puertos porque no me gustó la experiencia porque por mis hijos. So, decidí llegar a los puertos. Y aquí estoy en los puertos.
Ándale.
¿Escuchó la película La Lola la trailera?
Sí.
Yeah.
Muchos. En ese tiempo, at that time when I started, it was not that many girls. Now I see all of you guys. And it's like, I'm happy to see that. I don't know. Es bonito ver muchas mujeres en esta industria. Y sí podemos.
Sí.
The carnalas, like, my turn.
I always get so happy when I see the girls. I'm like, you go, girl. You go, girl.
Yeah. Oh, me? I mean, if I'll be honest, I started at the rail, and it was because my husband pushed me to do it because he would tell me like I worked at Honda at the business department, and I was making like $12 an hour. And we were gonna have a baby, and he had actually started working at the rail and making more, obviously, than what I was making, you know. And he's like, if you're gonna work, if you plan on working, then you better make money off of it, you know? Like, don't give your time away. Shout out to you for bullying me.
Nice.
No, but like it takes, you know, a person to inspire you or to push you to your limits, because never in my life would I have thought that I would be able to drive an 18-wheeler in my life. Like I'm not gonna, you know, pat myself on the back, but I'm a good ass driver. But
Hey, you should.
Oh.
Best friend. But and on some real shit, like I had seen women. My mom actually wanted to become a truck driver, but my grandma, she said, no, there's too many men out there. What are you gonna do in an industry for men? And it's crazy because if my mom had actually went out to do that, it probably would have made it easier for me. I would have been farther in life than what I am now in this industry. But now that she sees me do it, she tells me like, I live my dream through you. And it sucks because I wish my mom could have done this. And I tell her, you still can do it. Yeah. Like,
I was just about to say that.
Yeah, like, and I push her and I told her like, I'll pay for your school and everything. Let's do it. But now in her head, it's built in that this is not for her. You get me?
Why? You be telling her all the stories, scaring her?
No, because my grandma just really pushed her to not. Because she would say like, because as well, like the ports or the industry for women for this wasn't as big as now. You get me? Like, look at all of us sitting here now, and we're all in this industry. Maybe when my mom was, like 10, 15 years ago, trying to do this, there wasn't this many women. So that's why the discouragement happened for her. So hopefully, you know, I'm proud, you know, to tell her, like, I do this, but I wish you would have done it. I really wish, you know, but I'm proud to be a truck driver. I think we all should be proud.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I'm proud. But this isn't. It's not. This isn't just for anybody. Like, you have to want to do this.
Yeah.
So
You have to have passion for it.
yeah,
Have love driving.
Yeah.
and being in away from home for traffic, 12-hour days. Maybe more. I mean, just all that crap.
It's worth it at the end of the day
Oh yeah.
when you get that check on Friday.
That is my proud moment. That is totally my proud moment because this mama does it by herself for her 4 kids.
Amen.
Thank you, Lord Jesus.
Yes.
Yes. And yeah.
No.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh.
Oh, we're skipping Rosie. Sorry.
How dare you signify?
Yeah, 'cause in my mind, because I had already interviewed her, I don't know why it feels like it was the same. Never mind. Just
It is, but this is a
it's kind of
different
selfish
episode.
because I thought everybody knew. Well, dale.
Yeah, dale, don, dale. So I got into trucking because the pandemic. It gave me a lot of extra time to think. I was literally like, it scared me. Like, I literally went from work home, you know. So I was like, what am I gonna do in the afternoons? Like, and trucking always intrigued me. Like, I consider myself like a badass 4-wheeler driver, you know. So I'm like, imagine me in one of those, you know. And like she said, like, you know, you would see other women, and then you're like, man, if they could do, and then like short, you're like, I'm 5'9", you know, a whole lot of women. So I'm like, if they could do it, you know, I could do it too, you know. And I didn't tell anybody. I think the only people that knew were my coworker Jamie, shout out, and one of my best friends Myra, because they had connects. They had friends that were truck drivers. I knew like nothing, or at least I wasn't in contact with people who were truck drivers. So I'm like, where do I start? Like, what's the process, you know, from getting your permit to endorsements to your physical and all that, you know. So yeah, here I am. So the time is now. Go.
Did you ladies know each other before this group chat to make this podcast happen?
Oh, I knew Yessie, Sandy, Morena. No, I didn't know about Rosie till you added us in the group chat, and I think we knew about each other. Yeah.
I think I had Sandy and you, right?
Yeah.
And then I was following Gina. I think.
I knew everybody from social media.
Yeah, we're all social media friends.
Yeah.
Instagram.
Yeah.
How
And
far along
Ye-
do you get? Oh, we're
Yessie
Instagram
was-
friends.
Fuck up.
Yessie was my like inspiration for a lot of things.
Yes, Amanda.
My apologies.
Yessie was my inspiration for a lot of things. Like, I was
Yes,
working
she has something
days.
important to say.
I was working days. I had road rage like you wouldn't believe, and I kept seeing Yessie and her stories, and she was always that night, and I was like, do you really like nights that much? And she's like, oh yeah, I never work days. And I was like, oh okay. So that's why I switched to nights. So, and it is so much, you're right, it is so much more
Don't give out the
relaxing.
secret.
So, I know.
It's in the
Don't-
sauce.
No, but you can't see, it's dark. I'm just
Guys, I know a new spot for the restroom, guys.
No.
No, he doesn't.
And I love that, Amanda, because most of my stories are in Spanish, and you're always watching. And thank you, because you know you're taking a good vibe from my.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Do you get any bad vibes for your stories?
Golosa.
No, not really. Tal vez de los chuchos, but you know, because I'm making money. Pues me tratan de hacer carreras, hijos de la chingada.
Mándalos a ver, gancitos.
They know me. When they see China, they know me. They like, ooh. Yeah.
Quítate tú pa' ponerme yo.
Have you guys ever got any like women, other drivers that
Hate on you?
yeah, they're kind of like I don't understand that. Like
Me either. Me
like
either.
for real? Like seriously. Or
We
I've
can
seen
hold hands and
I've
be
seen
best
some
friends.
women truck drivers that are there for the purpose of meeting guys. Like have you seen?
Ooh.
I'm like, damn, are you at work? Like, what's she doing? They be in the truck, but
Well, I've been around in the port for about 10 years, and it's the first time I get along with a group of ladies because I see some others like my age, older ladies that they've been in the port, and they don't talk. They just don't.
Yeah. She's right.
They just
When I
don't-
first started too,
don't look.
I had
They don't
no.
want to say hi. They,
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah, to me it's like girl code. Like you're driving, like what's
Yeah,
up,
yeah,
hi,
yeah.
like oh good job, you know, like
Yeah.
that's me. But you then you get the ones like pretend I don't see you, girl, bye.
Yeah.
I actually started,
Yep.
the way I used to Yargo at a place, and I used to see this HLT driver. I don't know who you are, but you are awesome. But that girl hella inspired me too. Like I
Nice.
remember, like she was super nice to me. Like I asked her about how she got her CDL, polite as shit. Like honestly, that girl. I don't know if she still works for HLT, but hi.
Hey.
You inspired me, girl.
That's right.
But I mean,
At the beginning, I always got the you're not a real truck driver. That's that from other women, and it always like really hurt.
I don't know
Hey,
why.
I hate-
Really at Gardner, and that really hurt my feelings. It was like, but I'm doing the
Gardner.
same thing as you.
You worked at Gardner?
I worked at Gardner.
That's where I started.
Oh,
That's where I
wow.
started driving Gardner
I started there too.
out in Chino. Yeah,
Wow.
that was my first job, trucking job.
I don't know what they say. We actually all start from the beginning.
Exactly.
And we all gonna.
Right?
started from the bottom. Now we're here.
Yep.
Exactly.
Hey,
I said that's the theme song. Write it down. That was the theme song.
no. I have to say it because my truck is on automatic, and they tell me that I'm a half trucker because I drive automatic. But let me tell you something.
When I'm stuck in traffic,
I'm
don't
still
worry about
getting
it.
paid the same as a person who drives a manual.
But that is something that DMB is like right now they coming out like the CDLs come. She just drive automatic or she drives. Somebody asked me about that.
and that's
Right
because-
now,
You don't have
my
any,
license say I can
restriction
drive
on
just
I do.
automatic
I do.
truck. I'm like, why?
But that's because
Just because she passed.
Who cares?
her
You own your
test
truck. So
Yeah.
in a
Automatic.
truck. But that's.
But that's because so
Why
for
is that?
mine is I have a restriction, but that's because of the place I got my license at. I went through one of the big companies,
Oh,
and they all transferred into automatics.
see, that's the thing. I did when I paid for my school, but my license isn't restricted. But I think ever since I started driving, I haven't driven a 10-speed. Like,
serious?
yeah,
But did you pass?
How long have you been driving?
like a year and 6 months.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you talk like she talks like she's been driving forever.
Because I drove Yargo previous to this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I drove for like 3 years previous to this. I worked at the rail and all that.
Who's the rookie in the crew right now?
Probably Rosie.
So like when I learned how to, the thing for me wasn't backing up. Yeah. Because you see a lot of drivers like that backing up. It's like they lose their container.
So here's a quick.
But I think that whoever's drive here in the ports, we are the drivers because we always, backing up.
Yeah.
When I started here at the port, I didn't know how to back up. Apenas me había separado, and he used to do all the backing up. So when I got my job, dude, I went into that job interview and I was like, oh my God, how am I gonna back up? Mind you, I had gone to school. I went to go back to learn the fundamentals in like 2 days. So that Monday I drove to Arizona, and by the glory of God, I backed that container in. How I did it, I don't know, but it went in.
That's
That
what
day
I'm
she
saying.
became religious all of a sudden.
I got the job.
She was religious that moment.
Yeah, she was religious in that moment.
If you can't back it up, just leave it in the row. Someone will come get it. I've experienced. Trust me.
I disapprove of that message as a previous Yargo.
I didn't know how to drive a 10-speed until I
will find
actually
you.
started working at the port, and it was like my second week of working with my second job after Gardner. at the port where my trainer was like, let me see how you drive. You know, so I'm over here like double clutching in the truck. He said, pull over. I said,
Drop that shit right here.
yeah, but after like a few months, I was already like, he taught me how to float.
Oh, okay. That's one of the best things
Yeah.
ever, floating, that I learned.
But it was so horrible. Oh, my leg, my freaking knee for like at least 3 months from holding the clutch.
Was it an international?
International.
Oh, yeah.
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 My car really bad too.
Yeah, I like international. But then I also, because that's what I
Marina,
started.
put the
That's what
microphone down.
That's what I started. That's what I started with. But my dream is a Kenworth.
This podcast is gonna be like 3 hours long.
It's probably 4 hours, probably. All right.
Take the microphone from her.
After a couple flechas, I got
Oh my
it.
god!
You doing no fucking TikTok skits with those legs when you're leaning in the clutch,
Kenworth.
in and out.
Kenworth Love. Sorry.
Have you guys ever dropped a container?
Almost at the Walmart distribution center, but it got caught up on my
Tire.
mud flap, and I was able to save it. But I'm so happy because they clowned the shit out of me. They were every time I fucked up was, see, did you see what you fucking did? Why you guys? They were hard on me. The guys at Gardner were hard at me, but without them as a team, all of the port drivers there, I would never be where I was today, and I would have never went into fuel because of them. When I went into fuel was because they were like it.
They were
You
so
gotta
mean you left.
You gotta go.
There was
to,
nobody left.
No, well, it was you gotta go to grow. Do you want to get paid more? You have to leave. You have to get more experience. So that was the reason. But I loved all of those guys. Without them, I wouldn't be the driver that I am.
Shit! Shout out to them.
Yes.
Go ahead.
I didn't drop a container, but I dropped the chassis, and it was the most embarrassing thing at WBCT.
Oh, that's no big deal.
I would have took
No.
off.
Yeah, keep
No,
going.
no, I couldn't take off because
Y'all seen
was,
me.
I was already attached to it. I was already hooked up. So when
Take off anyways. Fuck it.
So-
Get the hoses later.
so
Hoses and everything.
yes, I lost it all. And then the wires got stuck in between the tires. Oh my god, I was crying.
That's probably the picture that ended up on the gram. With está envuelto en las llantas, everything. Oh, okay.
I didn't, but it was that one.
No, and it comes back to the whole when I started doing this whole rookie chronicles of a rookie truck driver, because all the shit that was happening to me, like my family was laughing at my stories, and my mom was like, why are you telling them what's happening to you? Just tell them when they ask you, tell them everything's okay. No, because everything is not okay. I'm like, I wanted to quit the first week. I'm like, no, like, but you know why? Because no one talks about that stuff. You look at truck drivers and you think that they have it all figured out, and it's like, no, like everyone's busted a few hoses before. Everyone's dropped the trailer. Everyone have forgotten to lift the legs or whatever.
Hey, share
There's
your
good days and bad days.
the walkie-talkie story when you can.
My walkie-talkie story? Which
Watch
one's that one?
Watch the guys and try to do what
The
they
CB
do.
radio? I don't know what he's talking about.
As long as they're not, as long as they're not doing something stupid. But that's how I got through it.
Oh yeah, so going back to why it's so hard, right? The first week I was there, I busted some airlines, and I was like, fuck my life. I was like, this is so embarrassing. I was literally in my truck, and I called the guy that hired me. I'm like, hey, this just happened. He's like, okay. So he comes by and he's all whistling with like the hoses, and I'm like crying. I'm like, not like sobbing, but like tears are coming down my face, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna be in so much trouble. He comes, he fixes them, and he's like, all right, you're ready to go. And I'm like, that's it? And he's like, yeah. He's like, that's it. And I'm like, I'm not gonna be in trouble. He's like, no, that's it. And I was just like, oh my god. But I was still feeling nervous. So it was I was working at the yard, so they gave me an hour lunch. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go on my break, on my lunch, and I ain't coming back. I'm not coming back. I don't care, And I go to
Bust the warehouse move?
I go to the Arco and I get a drink. I'm like, okay, settle down. I call my friend. I'm like, this just happened to me. She's like, are you crying? I'm like, yeah. And I was just like, she's like, it's fine, go back. And I'm like, I'm not going back. I'm telling you right now, I'm not going back. This is not for me. This is not for me. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. So then I look down and I have the little two-way radio or the walkie-talkie. And I'm like, fuck. I was like, I gotta go back. I was like, here you go. You know, so I went back and he's like, are you crying right now? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, no, there's no crying right here. I'm like, look, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm a crybaby.
Two birds, one sky.
Yeah. Soy chillona, pero chingona. I'm gonna cry first. I'm gonna get it done, but I'm gonna cry first, you know. And you just gotta do what you gotta do.
The only thing
and
a car can do is
Here I
drive.
am.
That's right.
Thank you for being patient.
The only thing a car can do is drive. You ever seen a tree fall down 2 times?
I had a moment like that too. I had a moment like that. I had a moment like that, and I cried too. When I started, remember I told you I didn't know how to back up? Yeah. So they sent me to a recycling place, and I couldn't back up the truck. It took me like 10 minutes to back it up. And then the workers there were clowning, and I started crying. And then when I got to the yard, I started crying. And Jonathan, shout outs to Jonathan. He's like, "Why are you crying? Why are you crying? They can't drive what you drive."
Exactly.
So they can't.
Haters.
Yes. The workers at the warehouses are the worst, though. They'll open the door and there'll be like 5 of them standing there, and it's like that. And that's why I only do drop and hook. I refuse to open the doors. I don't like opening doors, brokers. Okay, I don't pop locks. I don't do none of that.
We just pop, lock, and drop it.
Yeah, it's drop and hook strictly. No, but that's why, because they make you nervous. Even as an owner operator with experience, 10 people standing around watching you is hard. Yeah. It's like really, go find something to do.
You ain't got shit else to do but watch me.
I know, exactly.
And then they watch us.
There's
more
like 10
because
people
we're
waiting
females.
to get unloaded, and you're standing here at this empty door.
I remember it used to take me like 30 minutes to back up, and I didn't give a fuck. Like, I was like, look, I'm a
It happens when it happens.
I'm paid by the hour, so fuck it. I don't give a fuck.
I'm gonna take 2 hours here just because.
Man, what's taking you so long? I had to back up. No one wanted to help me, and
I hit the container next to me like 10 times. Imagine somebody
with that being said, if you're at the port and you're backing up into a spot, take your time. Yeah. Take your time backing up. If you're barely starting and you're learning how to back up. If you're not an owner op. But I mean, we could find other ways, you know?
It's all good. Yeah. But if you hit my truck, we're gonna fight. Like.
So I have a question.
And then we're all gonna pull up after her.
So my question is, has anybody ever fallen off their truck?
Oh my God, that just happened to me last week.
When you
That
going to
literally just happened to me last week.
Oh, I slipped a little bit.
No, I've ate shit like good.
Okay, so we were.
I splattered.
I slipped down the catwalk.
It had just rained, and me and I was trained. They had me training this lady after 6 months of driving at Gardner, and she was fighting with me, and it was like 4:00 in the morning. And
He said, "I'm gonna just throw myself off this
I
truck."
was like, you fucking bitch. And she was like, you fucking bitch. And I was like, I fucking hate you. So I was getting in the passenger seat, and then I was getting out because I was mad about something. And the next thing I know, I fell like off the top step into this big ass muddle. I had mud all over the back of me, and I had to ride around the whole day like that. I look good though. I have my little those hunter boots, those knee-high boots, my leggings. I look cute.
And a whole bunch of mud on her.
Yep. So we got to YTI, and they were looking at me like, "What?"
Did she shit herself? What kind of?
When the mud turned white. So I had all the back of me was white, like when I turned around. I was so embarrassed.
I would have went home.
And she was like, "That's what you get, you fucking bitch." And I was like, "That's cool." It's okay because she didn't make it through training. I'm just joking. I'm just kidding.
Those are fighting words.
Really?
Those are fighting words.
Really?
And she was the first one to tell me I'm not a real trucker, so screw her.
Yeah. We don't
So
like
si
you.
estás escuchando esto, no.
Vete a la chingada.
You didn't
In
keep
Spanish.
it up.
How about fighting with the truck drivers? Get into a fight?
Like an actual
I've never.
Nomás se gritan.
Don't we
conmigo.
get banned for that?
Yo sí.
I threw a water bottle.
You're gonna hear this one.
You did? With another female?
Yeah, with the black guy.
Oh!
We
hell no.
were like, but somebody else came and he's like, no, how you gonna do that to that poor lady? He was gonna fuck me up. I have, the pins from the chassis.
Yeah.
I have like 3-4 pins in my truck because if somebody came to me,
You gonna get your window
ya
busted.
saben quién los va a recibir. Oh, yeah.
I didn't fight a trucker, but I fought a homeless lady.
What?
Okay, so
Where are all these good stories coming from?
it was right there at the yard right there in Linwood.
Mm-hmm.
I think se llama ICA, right there on Philadelphia and Imperial.
No. I don't know.
No idea where it is,
Okay.
but that's where you fucked that lady.
Yeah.
up.
So it all started because I went in there to pick up an empty to take into the port. I went and I backed up. I didn't realize that there was somebody under there, and she came out and she's like, "Hey, you're taking my house."
We're getting canceled. Yeah, valió.
I felt awful.
Your house is making me money today. Stop. Just stop.
It wasn't my
Don't you for 1 second believe.
That doesn't count. I'm just
So that lady swung at me, but I couldn't leave it. I needed my container.
That's why I said your
It
house
was like
is gonna
when you
make
leave
me
it on the
money.
street, that container was on the street.
No,
right?
it's a yard.
What the fuck was she
It's in my
doing in there?
yarda. I don't know. They sneak in there.
They what?
The homeless people sneak in there.
You're taking my house.
You're taking my house.
you call dispatch. You're like
What kind of fucking house is
Let's
this?
move on. Let's move on. Next one.
Let's go.
Next one.
Wait, we still have shit to talk about? Jesus Christ.
There's more stories.
What's the worst experience you had with someone being a creep
Oh.
at the port or out of the port?
Oh shoot! So this guy at Costco, he's like,
remembers the same guy.
dude, he might as well just got in the truck with me. I mean, I was like, damn. Like, you want to go for a ride? Standing on the side, but he was the clerk, and he was like, damn, girl, like all up in he was like in my face. I was like, damn, Ken, like,
Back
what are
the
you
fuck up.
doing? Like he checked the wrong stack like 3 times because he was trying to talk to me. I was like, can you? You're like 3 rows up. Like I'm here, not there, here. But and then some lady came over and she was like, "Man, what are you fucking doing?" And I was like, "Thank you."
Thank you.
That's like the worst. I'm trying to think. I think that's it. I don't think that I've had anything like really, really disrespectful happen to me.
Well, I had something happen very bad, and it was with the yard guy. So it happened once. I pulled up to that yard, and that man was like, he came from the dark, and he's like, "Oh, it was so nice to see you." He hugged me, he kissed me. I was like, "What the heck?"
No.
And I kind of just went back to my truck, right? So then, but mind you, so I was working nights. It happened again. On a second time at another yard. I mean, at the same yard.
Who do you look like?
What?
Who do you look like that they hugged you like nice?
I
It would
don't
be inappropriate.
I guess a big old teddy bear or something. I don't know.
Trip out. Imagine it was a dude he was trying to do it to. It was just so dark he couldn't tell.
And the yard's so dark that
Yeah, you couldn't tell. You probably wouldn't be able to tell.
So then it happened a second time, but this time he said like
It was the same guy?
Yes, me dijo con ganas de.
What?
Yes, out of the dark he came out and he said that, and I jumped back into my truck, called dispatch. I was like, "Don't ever send me to the yard again."
What did he say?
Can I say it?
He said, "You're taking my $6 away."
So then,
Fluffy. What did he
Can
say?
I use it? Can I say it?
I got it. It's okay. I can.
We
imagine.
all adults.
What's going on? What?
me dijo, he came out of the dark and he was like, oh, con ganas de violarte.
Oh.
Pues tu puta madre, ahí le hubiera mentado.
And that's when you should have
from
cracked
there,
that dude over the
I
dome
called-
with the mallet that you have.
I
Or
called
crowbar.
Right then and there, he crossed them. Oh,
Yeah, so that's scary.
that's scary.
Well, that changes things. Fuck.
Yeah.
That's really creepy.
And that's one of the
You
things
won.
that we have to deal with is when we alone in those yards, you know, there's
Off-site
no
facilities.
lights and shit. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I do
It's
know.
scary.
That's a-
Sometimes scary.
Did you said fuck it, I'm out, or did you hook up to whatever you?
I called
No.
dispatch and I called my dad, and I'm like, hey, this just happened. And so the next day, the dispatch called me. He's like, don't worry, they already let him go. I guess he was with the agency, and they let him go.
Oh.
That's crazy. Yeah, dude, that should.
Anybody got another? We're
You
down
have
to
one?
the last.
Have a bunch that it's just, I think.
I think the creepiest thing, I literally happened to me yesterday. I pulled up to ITS, and then there was I was unlocking my pins, and this guy's like, you're too pretty to be a truck driver. And then trip out. I was like, I just let shit like that slide. I just be like, okay, cool, whatever. I got no, hell no, not to me, honestly. Like, why you?
It depends who
wanna
says it and how they
pull
say
up
it.
to a guy and be like, you too cute to be a truck driver.
I've heard from some of my guy friends, they've been hidden from some of the men down there. Yeah, and I was like, really? But yeah.
And then I got to this was the second time I went to that spot, and the yard clerk, the first one was really cool, and then when I pulled up, the clerk that checks where the box is, he was like inside his car, and he was like telling me like, oh, you look like a doll, and then the guy that was like telling the guy that that makes the signs. And he walked like past my truck, and he was like sticking his tongue out, and I was like, "What?"
Like, why can't they behave? Damn. Like,
On some real
seriously.
shit.
Pórtese bien,
Trip
cabrones.
out. My husband was right behind me.
Did he get the same experience?
And what did he tell you? Did he catch it?
Oh yeah,
husband? And
he
what's your
talked shit to the guy, and the guy was telling him about how he stole Jordans.
That's crazy.
Oh no.
Have you guys seen the guy at 8 p.m. and he's like, my son's an MMA fighter? That he's in Roto? He doesn't do that to you guys?
No.
Like, every time I roll through there, he's like, my son, follow me on Instagram. My son's an MMA fighter. And I'm just like...
What is he? Fucking McGregor?
I'm like, okay. And then, or the Roto guys will get your DMs. Never mind. I'll stop there.
We'll get your DMs.
They follow you. I don't know how they figure out who you are. Have you had that? No, you guys haven't had
Maybe
that?
because it's all over your
Oh,
trucks.
goodness.
No, I only spoke.
You don't have your handles
I
on
only
the
spoke
truck?
to one. What happened? I only spoke to one of the mechanics at 8 p.m. and he was on 4. Bob, shout out Bob, dope ass guy.
My friend,
Daytime.
He's a mechanic from
APM?
P20.
Oh, yeah. Other guys from the mechanics from other ports. Suck a dick.
I like most of the roadability is pretty cool though.
Nah,
of
I mean
them are
most.
really, really
That
cool.
depends who you get on some real shit. Because some viejitos, like some old men, they'll do the most extra.
What do you mean? I'm like checking the chassis?
Yeah, they'll be like checking the tires, and they'll go checking the lights, and then they'll go check the inspection, and then the
I
most.
think that's because maybe they got in trouble. That's what I feel like. I mean, I don't know.
Cut that out, because next time I get out there,
No.
the mechanics.
Well, okay, look.
You're the bitch that flipped me off.
What's your truck number and what company are you at? Nah, just
The
kidding.
mechanics at LBCT, I love them though. I mean, they don't even stop playing. They don't stop playing video games. They be barbecuing, all kinds of shit. I'm like, damn, y'all gonna check the chassis shit?
They might as well flip that shit and check it.
I know. Give me a steak. Shit. Like, I mean, the LBCT mechanics, they're always having fun. I'm like, you guys are the most chill mechanics ever.
I've never gotten stopped there, so
The
yeah.
one at APM.
Heart
The
for
ones
them.
at APM.
I was like,
girl.
hearts for them. What?
The ones at APM.
What?
APM. They always pull. I don't know. I always get pulled into
To roadability. That's what I'm
Yes,
saying.
all the time.
That's why I made
love
that
the
one friend
APM
there.
Mechanics. I love the APM, the night mechanics.
No, see that on the day, that one guy, he was just hella chill.
The YTI mechanics are pretty cool too. They like to make
No.
you get out. That's creepy. They like to make you get out so they could look at you. They'll be like, "Come back here."
I'm gonna
And
show
I'll be
you
like,
what I'm gonna
Yeah,
fix.
yeah, and I'm like, "Wait,
Let me
I
look
checked
manly
it.
in front of you.
The lights are cool. I don't need to get out."
I see this shit every day.
Look at this mud flat.
Are you fucking new here?
Next.
It's well, it's almost the same question that this person sent in. How does it feel when other perverts check them out nonstop? Like all eyes are on you. 'Cause
Dead ass, you go get
They're
off.
gonna ban you no matter what. So get used to it and act accordingly. I don't know. They're gonna look at you no matter what.
I just walk around looking like a man. I walk out looking like this. I'll square up.
You know what? I actually stopped smiling because I realized that it's my smiling that gets me into a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, I absolutely agree.
Don't stop smiling.
No, it's seriously, it does. Like, you can't be
guys
polite.
take it in the wrong way. If you say
Yeah.
hi or they just
That's a hook right there for them.
Yep.
Just you saying hi.
Just get off and be like, "Que pedo, güey?"
Exactly.
What's up, bro?
Roberto.
And now I'm like, ¿qué onda? ¿Qué onda?
¿Qué onda, güey?
Do you see yourself staying in the ports for the long term, or there's something else you want to do eventually in trucking, or? Mhm.
I do. I like ports.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. I'm cool with chilling for a little while.
I love the port. You never know what every day is something different.
The
I love
adventure
it
of
there.
today. Yeah, no, I actually got offered to do like some trips like to Arizona and stuff. I think I want to try it being a newbie, see what works for me. Oh shoot.
Fun at the scales.
Oh my god.
Oh, don't scare me.
Only at night.
Exactly.
Run it at
Only
night.
Yep.
But yeah, no, but so far, I mean, haven't had problems with
Best
ports.
advice. Best advice.
And
The ports is all I know, so.
Best
gonna stay here.
advice for her, guys.
But
What are we doing?
no. If you want to do it, do it. Don't let anyone
Yeah,
change your mind.
exactly.
Because when I went into fuel, it was you're not gonna like it, and I loved it. And,
I didn't like
know,
over the road.
Yeah.
It's not for me.
It's not for you. Yeah, everyone has different, yeah.
You're
You
not
might gotta
gonna
try
know-
something then and
you're
find
not
out
gonna
if that's your
know
thing.
If you like it or don't like it until you try it.
Right.
So try it.
Right.
I love OTR. I love going out, but I have my kids, so I have to stay home. But if I could go back, girl, in a heartbeat, I would do it.
My advice is this: if you don't like it, if you know, you're gonna know after like a few days if you like it.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, just stop. Don't be like, I'm gonna wait it out 6 months. No,
Stop.
go back
right
and
away.
do, because you can always come back to the ports.
Right.
Are you really gonna leave us?
I mean,
You
there's
know what?
there's loads from the ports that go to
Yeah.
Arizona and
Yeah, I
stuff,
think
so-
that's the moves are like taking them out from the port and taking them. Yeah. Yeah.
What's the farthest you guys have gone?
Yeah. The farthest
Vegas.
Diamond
Vegas,
Bar,
but not
City of
from the
Industry,
ports.
something like that.
My first route was up to like New York, that way. Yeah,
That's too far.
I drove off.
Rancho Cucamonga.
No.
Rancho.
I think I went to all the states.
Texas, Colorado, Arizona, Vegas.
Yeah, that's all I heard. Dale, China.
Okay.
No te escuché.
I've been Colorado, Texas, Arizona, Vegas. That's it, I believe. Utah.
I'm all out of questions. So at this point, if any of you ladies have anything else to add, we can talk about that topic or whatever.
Vámonos a comer.
Vámonos a
Tengo
pistear.
hambre.
¿Tienen hambre?
Tengo un chingo de hambre.
Well, we're coming back. Don't worry. We have many.
More stories to
More
add to
stories.
this.
For aspiring truck
Podcast.
drivers, make sure that you have zip ties, crowbar, mallet, bucket, hammer, your tools, air chuck,
Rain boots.
air hose,
Hey.
rain boots,
Hey.
rain gear. What else?
Reindeer.
Rain gear.
Have you worked at Fastly?
What else? What else?
What?
Those are
When
good
it rains?
suggestions.
You don't want to be at Fastly when it rains. You
Zip ties for the zip tie challenge.
Zip tie challenge.
What's that?
Containeros.
What's the zip tie
Be
challenge?
nice. Digan hola.
get
say
creative
hi
with
to
them.
us, Be nice
Just get
to
creative
the
with them?
Containeras.
Mande, mande.
Are we saying goodbye?
Are we saying goodbye?
Bye,
Is that what we're
Containeras. We'll be back soon.
That was
Lolita,
fast.
I love you. Please
You got
engage in
any
the
more
comments.
questions?
Share
Goodbye.
it. Tag us. Gold Queen Rosie on Instagram.
Sandy La Chula on Instagram.
Sarai Aguilar on
Ya
Instagram.
sabes, ya tú sabes.
One at a time, one at a time. My bad.
Pink
Who-
or Beauty
You
in the
know
Truck?
how it is.
Where do they reach you then? La China what?
La China Containera.
Sarai?
At Sarai Aguilar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my name.
Rosie?
Gold Queen Rosie.
Rocio with Rosie with a S. Okay.
Rocio. Rocio con ese.
Mine was
Rocio
underscore
with a-
first.
sí, sí, sí.
Does it come in pink or Beauty in the Truck?
Sandy La Chula on all my social medias.
At the Boss Lavalos on IG.
And Containeros. Containeros.
Hey, no,
For
no,
life.
no married men in my DM.
Y el que no,
All
que
right,
vaya a
guys.
TikTok.
El que no, que busque el video en el TikTok.
Say hi to me.
Vámonos.
Continue getting paid.
And we're out. Let's give a goodbye. Bye bye. Peace.